How awesome was that? I love any time that I get to spend with entrepreneurs who think big like Grant. I always get a buzz out of it. Now, in this next session, we are talking to somebody who has taken the 10X mentality to heart in his own life and business. Matthew Fraser was one of our first platinum partners to join our program way back in the day. I remember working with Matthew on his first Amazon products, and he took an extraordinary path of finding unique products that he doesn't actually own or create himself. He actually acts as a distributor or agent for the products and has grown that into an incredibly successful global e-commerce business that doesn't just transact on Amazon, but he goes direct through another platform entirely that's not even Shopify. He has won, I think, somewhere between 3 and 4 white rhinos, so between 3 and 4 million US in the last year, and he's won multiple Rhino Awards. In fact, right now, the last month of trade, just under $1 million for the month. This is not Christmas trading, this is normal trading throughout the year, with roughly that being split between Amazon and his business outside of Amazon. So I'm really, really excited to be talking to Matthew. He's here in the studio and he's going to tell you his story of how he did this. And we're actually going to go online, show you his sales funnels, show you his actual sales, and dig into an incredible new way that you guys might be able to make money from all of your knowledge about sourcing products and building online businesses. So without further ado, please help me welcome to the stage my good friend and incredibly successful e-commerce entrepreneur, Mr. Matthew Fraser. All right, guys, here we are with none other than Matt Fraser. Thank you for coming in, mate. Congratulations.
Mate, thank you so much.
And I've got a little thing here which I'm going to give you because in the planning session we were doing before this interview, we were sitting down and going, well, what awards have you won? And we were going through and we actually ran out of pins and I couldn't just sort of like give them to you like this. Pile. So what we did was we got Vanessa to rig this up for you, which is 1 diamond rhino short for those of you watching there. So it should be quadruple white rhino, which is over 4 million in a year. And this month, over $900,000 in sales.
It's a smidgy off $1 million, Adam.
Smidgen off $1 million for the month. So I'm going to give you pins on this beautiful Marbig folder organizer. But it's a real accomplishment and congratulations.
Yeah,
and,
awesome.
We'll give you the big trophies and awards as well. Way to go, mate.
That's
so
beautiful.
Let's hear your story. Like for people watching, this is an extraordinary story because you own a Hungry Jack's franchise. You've been an entrepreneur pretty much in your blood, and you're a politician, or you were a politician for a while as well.
Did some dabbling in politics, but no longer. But look, I started in Reliable Education in 2016.
Yeah.
I stumbled across the course. I was actually looking for something outside of the bricks and mortar business, and the Reliable Education method spoke to me. So I took the gamble and I bought the course. Shortly after that, I think I was about student number 300 and something. That's back in 2016. I then made a real significant investment in my future by joining the Platinum Partners. That was PP1. That's where, of course, I got to meet you and form a friendship from there, and went on from there.
And that program's really more about the who, as I think you would say, than the how. It's because some of what we're going to talk about today was just sort of through the meeting of the people that sort of evolved to where you are.
That's right. And you know what, Grant Cardone talks about this a lot. He talks about it's the who, not so much the mechanics.
Yeah.
And I can now look back in my journey. It's only been a short journey of 4 or 5 years of the who's that were influential in pivoting me to the success where I am now.
Yeah. And what a success, like 900 grand in a month. You must be pinching yourself.
To be honest with you, it's actually quite surreal, and it's really just numbers on a screen.
Yeah.
I haven't bought a big flash mansion or anything like that. I'll probably pay the house off by August.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah. And about 600,000 of it came from what we're going to talk about today, which is your funnels outside of Amazon. So you've got a business on Amazon that's got you a quintuple, is it? 5x, 500,000 in a month. But then you got 600,000 in a month this month in your business off of Amazon, which is your funnel business, which we'll dive into.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky because we talk about Amazon in US dollars.
Yes.
So it's just over 500,000 US dollars in the last 30 days.
Yes.
And that's going to be pretty much now progressing at another 500 every month, moving forward. And then aside from that, in Australian dollars, because that's how I receive the money, it's now sitting at $600,000 for the off Amazon funnels.
Wow, that's amazing. So really it should be 10 pins on there, not 9. But anyway, that's amazing. So let's just give people a bit of a high level of what you do before we roll tape on the tour. So the tour, guys, for those of you watching at home, we're going to go into Matthew's accounts and show you not only the sales in the PayPal account and that sort of stuff, but actually going to show you an example of a page that he drives traffic to from Facebook, and we're going to see the whole thing, which I'm deeply grateful for you sharing this, because I know when people see this, it's going to open up a whole new world of opportunity to them. But high level, what's really interesting about what you do is you don't own or create the products. So tell us about that. Whose products are they?
Well, let me tell you the story.
Yeah,
the
let's
story's
hear the
quite
story.
interesting. So through my Amazon journey, I was listening to Gary Vee, and Gary Vee said you should document what you're doing through video on social media. So that's literally what I did. I started recording myself talking about the ins and outs of my Amazon journey. And from there, a local gentleman saw a video, reached out to me and said, hey, listen, I see you're selling a product, you're selling on Amazon. I have a medical product that I'd love to get on Amazon. Can I meet up with you for coffee? So literally from that sliding door moment, and of course not knowing what Gary Vee was even talking about, I didn't know where that was going to end up. I went and met with this gentleman for coffee. We then struck a deal. I said, look, you give me 100 units with no money down, and I'll just test those 100 units on Amazon. So I did that. Those units sold out in 3 weeks. So 103 weeks, I thought that was incredible. I was thinking, oh, this is fantastic. Yeah, imagine what I could do, 100 every 3 weeks. And so I signed an exclusive agreement. This is the key. I signed an exclusive distribution agreement to be on Amazon USA, which then has now led to a distribution agreement for multiple Amazon territories across the world, plus funnels, and other platforms like eBay.
And is that the products that's driving most of your revenue today?
That would be 95% of my sales would be from there.
Eric Bicciardo, who's in the virtual summit as well, has done the same thing with a food product. Exclusive distribution on Amazon and actually in the United States, not just on Amazon. So was it difficult to secure that agreement? First of all, was the person Australian based, and was it difficult to get the agreement?
The gentleman was actually living in my town.
You're kidding?
I literally met up for coffee at the coffee club.
Right, you're in Tweed Heads.
I'm in Tweed Heads.
Right.
Yeah. So
he's in Tweed Heads. He sees this video on Facebook. Of you just with a selfie stick or whatever.
Yep.
Talking about your journey. He contacts you. You go to coffee club. He's got this medical device. How much is the retail price of this device?
We retail in Australia for $99, and in the US, $60.
What's the cost price roughly?
Cost price for me is $20 Australian.
Okay, so 100 units is $200 worth of inventory. So it's not a big gamble for him.
That's right. But what I soon realised through this journey was,
2000.
why didn't he just do it?
Right.
Because I'm thinking, hey, I'm on Amazon. I've got a couple of products up already that I had manufactured out of China.
Yep.
Followed the reliable method.
Yep.
And I soon realised, Adam, that there are a whole bunch of companies out there that don't know how to use Amazon, nor do they really want to be able to figure out how to use it. So I became the conduit, with the reliable education training, taking what I knew from that and then applying that to other people's products, securing exclusive distribution.
And the beautiful thing about this, guys, what Matthew's talking about, no product development, no messing around with boxes and all that stuff. It's all done.
No barcoding, no trademarks. It was just a pre-packaged product. It landed in my lap.
Okay.
And I just took that, and they sent it. I didn't touch it. They just sent it into Amazon. I gave them some labels, and then we went from there. I mean, now that product right now in America does over 5,000 units a month.
Is that right?
It's the #1 product. I've got over 2,000 star ratings on that product. Dominates the niche.
Right. So you've brought with you, and we won't get into it now, I might do it on the flip side of the tape, but you brought with you a whole bunch of similar kinds of products that you've sourced locally, mostly here in Australia. We're going to dive into how he sourced these, where he went to, what kinds of products make an ideal thing. But fundamentally, what you're doing is you've got this product, you've got it on Amazon, but what's really generating a lot of cash now is the sales outside of Amazon through what you call funnels.
That's right.
A funnel, what's your explanation of a funnel? It's not on Shopify, it's just a funnel. So how would you describe it before we jump in?
If I'm talking in simplistic terms,
Yep.
It's really a website.
Right.
It's a website that people will come to, and they will, and you're selling a product.
It's like a one-page website though, right?
But it's a one-page website, as opposed to like a traditional website might have at the top company name, about us,
Or a
products.
Shopify store that's got the home page, and then it's got the products, and then the returns policy. You've just got one page.
So when the customer lands on that page, there's no way for them to get off that page. They simply scroll down the page through the information down to the checkout, and then you want them to buy.
Got it. So you buy an advertisement on Facebook, then they go from the advertisement to your one-page website.
Yes.
And then they can buy.
They can buy.
And then what you're doing then is you're shipping it through a third-party fulfillment service, which isn't Amazon, or are you using
Correct.
Amazon?
I mean, when I first started, I used Amazon.
Right,
Because we're testing the product.
A lot of people watching might not know that. You can actually just use Amazon to do your fulfillment, like a 3PL.
That's
right.
right.
You've got other third-party fulfillment services. So in America, you've got a 3PL, third-party logistics company. So you've got your inventory sitting in a 3PL. The sale gets made on this one-page website. The 3PL ships it out for you. What's your margin?
The margin now is about 35%.
35% after cost of goods and advertising and all the rest.
Yeah.
Okay, so the main difference is you're buying traffic from Facebook, and it goes to this one-page landing page. The great thing about this, guys, is Matthew's not in a marketplace anymore. There's no 15 other medical devices like his around him trying to beat him down on price. It's just your page, right?
And don't forget, other people have seen the success of my product and
Right.
tried to come in and try to undercut it.
Yes.
But because we've built this moat around it with star ratings, we've got great images, etc. I've used all the training from Reliable,
Yep.
applied it to my own listings, and then applied that same work ethic and methodology to my funnels.
Right. So why don't we jump in and have a look at it, and then we'll come back and talk about it once you guys at home are up to speed. Because I think once you actually see a Facebook ad that is leading into a page, you'll get how this works. And then we're going to dig into some of the finer points around what kind of products it works for, the platform that you're using to automate all of this, and then how you can talk about your ROAS and a few other things as well. So, but what I love, guys, is that you're driving people to an environment that you fully control, and you have ownership of the customer. So you keep that customer. There's no rules around what you can do in terms of communicating.
Yeah.
You can sell them more stuff in the future.
This is powerful, Adam. This is probably the most powerful part. If you're already selling on Amazon, look, it's a great, easy way to sell things, because as we know, Amazon handle all the customer service, and you can set up your own
all the traffic.
Internal traffic's key, and then internal PPC. Press a couple of buttons and away you go.
Yeah.
The difference is you don't own the customer relationship. So Amazon doesn't give you their email address and say, hey, anytime you want a new product coming out, just email them your new product, right?
They're
very, very protective of that.
Yeah.
Now, by taking it off Amazon, we're now accumulating a huge database. Now, why is that so important is because when, for example, we release a new product, we can simply email out our customer base for zero cost. And right now, I would have probably near 100,000 customer database. I release a new product, I send them an email at zero cost, and boom, we're going to get sales from that.
And your 35% margin becomes 70% margin, because the reason it was 35% before was probably 35% of your money goes on ads, right? Or something
That's
like
right, yeah.
So your subsequent sales, your margin could literally be
So
right up there.
what I would be thinking if I was already an existing Amazon seller is my product already successful on Amazon? Are people buying it, right? Because that's the proof of concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, and once they are, you can think, okay, well, let's take this now off Amazon and show it to many more people outside of Amazon.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned before, when they're going to Amazon, they're looking at a sea of products where you would call this red. Yeah?
Yes.
You take it off Amazon, you're really going into a bit more of a blue sea, because when someone sees your Facebook ad and they go onto your sales page or your website's funnel, they're not looking at other products.
Yes.
They're only looking at yours. So if you've got a convincing argument with great images, great sales copy, and a great price, they're going to buy it.
Yes, that's great, isn't it? There's no one-star Cheryl from Austin who
Giving you negative
giving
feedback.
you negative feedback and
That's
has
right.
all this authority over you.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because in theory, if you really get into this funnel world with Russell Brunson and these guys, they talk about self-liquidating offers, which their goal really is, the holy grail is if you can find a product that you can sell that you make nothing on, but it doesn't cost you anything, that means that you can build this massive list for free.
Yeah.
What's so amazing about what you're doing is you're actually making 35% profit and building a list. But in theory, if you're making nothing off X medical device, and then you go, well, that kind of person buying this medical device has a specific problem that you're solving, and therefore, because they have that specific problem, maybe it's, let's say it's bedpans, and there's bedpan cleaner or bedpan filters, or there's other things related to the person. You've got this database which you can just keep selling great stuff to over years and years and years. But so if you can get a self-liquidating funnel working, you're actually getting a profitable funnel working.
That's
amazing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, let's even talk about the sale of a business.
Yeah.
Because I've even spoken to brokers. If I was to section off just my Amazon portion of the business, I'd probably get about 3 times net profit.
Yep.
Okay. Now, then if I include all of the funnels, because now I'm including the customer database, it's going to be valued, I reckon, around the 5 to 6 times net profit. So it's a huge increase in the
It's double
in your business amount. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think in this climate, that's actually very conservative. E-com companies that are generating their own traffic and client base, that's conservative. So, look, why don't we jump in? And so you guys, I know at home, are gagging to actually see this.
The
funnels,
actual numbers.
The actual numbers, and see how you can generate $1 million a month from Tweed heads while you still own a Hungry Jack's franchise, right?
Which is automated. My wife looks after that.
The wife looks after the Hungry Jack's franchise. So you got that automated. You got $1 million a month coming in through your automated funnel business and your Amazon business. It's just extraordinary. So let's roll the tape. Matthew recorded this a couple of days ago of taking you for a tour inside his funnel business, and it will blow your mind. So let's roll the tape and we'll come back and talk about it in a minute.
All right, let's go inside and see what is a D2C or direct-to-consumer marketing. Now, that means we're going to take the ad straight to the customer rather than waiting for them to come to something like an Amazon platform. Now, as you can see here, what we're going to do is we're going to drive traffic to the sales funnel using Facebook ads. Now, Facebook ads are absolutely incredible. I cannot overstate how important they are and how they magically find the right customer. Right now, I'm spending over $10,000 every single day. It's literally over $300,000 every single month on Facebook ads. This ad here, we're running this ad plus 400 other ads just like this, different images, different sales copy, and different headlines. We're testing all those 3 different variables, and even simple things like right here, do we use the learn more button or do we swap it out and put a shop now button? At the end of the day, we're trying to get the customer to see this ad in their news feed and then press on that learn more button. Once they press on that learn more button, then they're going to jump over and be taken to my sales funnel. Here it is right here. This is exactly the sales funnel I'm using right now to sell the product. Now, starts off with a headline. I'm going to scroll through this so you can see exactly what it is. Remember, we don't jump off this page. We stay right on this page. A video, a bit of an introduction about the product. Yes, I've stolen some Amazon reviews and put them on here. We then keep scrolling down. A bit about the product, money back guarantee, buy with confidence with an FDA. That there is a moat into itself. That will cost tens of thousands of dollars to get and probably a decade to try and get that. So that's a fantastic moat for a product. In America, I'm using PayPal and credit cards. For Australia, for example, I'm also using Afterpay in the sales funnel. Through interest and full disclosure, this is not actually my product, but you get the idea. Now, we're going to keep scrolling down some more testimonials there. We've also got some more video. There's me again talking about the product, promo video there, an extra filter as an upsell or an add-on or a bump, you could call it. And then we've got some video testimonials right there. So that there is the entire process of the sales funnel. And at the end of the day, what we want them to do is to put their credit card details in here or use the PayPal. And then that will then register with us. We'll send them an email. It's all automated. It goes through the fulfillment center. Right now, I've got about 5 fulfillment centers right across the whole world. and they're shipping product out all the time. So let's now go and take a look at the numbers, because everybody loves to look at the numbers. So I'll jump now into my Stripe account. Now, Stripe is for things like credit cards, debit cards, okay? Now, you can have a look here. This is in real time. This is happening right now. So this second, we're up to $14,150 for the day. And then you can see yesterday's sales. Over here is some future payouts. Stripe pay out about every 3 days, unlike Amazon, they pay out fortnightly. Now, let's just scroll down a little bit more. I'm going to just take this back to 4 weeks for just a moment, and let's see what it's done in the last 4 weeks. $335,000 in the last 4 weeks alone. Now, what is fascinating is have a look at this number here, plus 50.5%. That's up 50% on the same time last month. That's month on month, up 50%. An extraordinary number. Let me take it back now to 12 months for you. And you can have a look at this. This funnel has actually been running for about 12 months anyway. So you can see I've done just in credit card transactions, $1.21 million in sales. And have a look at this. You can see here where we started off in the very beginning, where this cursor is. It was kind of tracking along. We persisted. It had a bit of a rise there. I mean, look at that. We did $72,000 in that month alone. But look how it keeps going. Once it gets to about September, October here, whooshka, it is just like a rocket ship to the moon here, going into outer space. Check this out. And then it goes right up to there. At this rate, I mean, really, I don't know where it's stopping, but it's a great indication and gives me a lot of confidence of where we can continue to scale as we bring on new territories. And also what's so great is as the Facebook ads learn more and more and optimize, they just seek out the right customer to buy my product. Let's now jump across quickly into PayPal and have a look at that. Now, PayPal is the other major payment facility that I'm using. As you can see here, last 30 days, $290,000. Now, you're going to say to me, what are we using to underpin all of this technology with Facebook ads, and in particular, the sales funnels? Well, that is our own software, my own company. It's called Automate to Sell. And so here it is here. This is not my dashboard, it's somebody else's dashboard, but it gives you an idea of what we can do. So just on the left-hand side here, you'll see it's got marketing, reporting, scheduling, contacts, really good here, funnels and websites. So my funnels are actually built within this system. So it's really just like a one-stop shop or one-stop digital shop for your e-com. And you can also even use, you could sell things like digital products through this as well. So let's have a look at the very last thing. And I just want to break down through the product itself so you can get an idea of the numbers. So sale price on this product is $100. Cost of goods about $20. Facebook ads, $30. Fulfillment, $10. That also includes the shipping out to the customer. Customer service, we factor that into about $2. Merchant fees, about $3 per transaction. Total cost, $65, which leaves me a $35 profit. And if we were to do, say, 5,000 units per month, 35 times $35 is $175,000 profit every single month. And you know what? It keeps expanding. All right, hope you enjoyed that.
Welcome back. So Matthew, that's extraordinary. Like, I remember when you showed that to me just a day or so ago, and I know you guys at home are going to be loving this right now because it's just so powerful. So there's a few things I want to dive into before we actually ask some questions like, how would I find a product? What kind of product? How do you find them? Where do you source them? How do you get the contracts? All those granular things, which we're going to dive into before we're done here. But your first thing I want to talk about was this concept of ROAS, right? Now, one of the guys that I've followed for years is Frank Kern, right?
Yeah.
And he's like one of the modern day sort of traffic gurus, how to get customers. And tattooed on his knuckles is ROAS. Right. ROAS.
He's right into it.
Yeah, he's fully committed, right? So for those who don't know what ROAS is, it means return on ad spend, right? So you're getting 2.5 to 3.5 ROAS.
Yeah.
So you said you're spending $10,000 a day on Facebook. So would that mean 25,000 to 35,000 back that day? So you've spent 10, you get 25 to 35 back.
That's right.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Now, please tell me you have a frequent flyer credit card connected to Facebook.
I keep thinking about that.
You haven't done it?
I haven't done it yet. No,
Dude.
I'm literally paying. This is what's extraordinary about this business, is I don't owe a cent. I haven't borrowed a single cent to fund stock. Right, I've paid for all the stock out of cash flow.
Yeah.
Now, I've got the, I guess, the benefit of having an outside income.
Yeah.
So I haven't had to take any living expense income out of this business. So I've just been able to churn the money and let it grow, which has been really valuable.
Yeah, well, that's the key, right? If you can keep the money in the business and compounding at these kinds of rates, it's insane.
Yeah.
So
now I do pull some money out.
Right.
Right, because there's just so much money coming in.
Yeah.
I just might as well pull some out, dump it off
you're
the
about to
mortgage and what have
spoil
you.
yourself, you told me, so I hope that you do and you enjoy it. Get yourself a nice
It
car
might
or
have
something.
4 wheels and a steering wheel.
Yeah. Yeah, Matt's a bit of a rev head and a BMX fan as well, right?
I do like BMX.
You-
Yeah.
I think you sold all your BMXs though.
Well, I raced when I was a teenager, and then of course once you get a bit older, you think I might go back and buy all those bikes that I never had.
Yes, like the
Yeah.
red lines and the
Red
long
lines and
boosts.
GTs
Yeah.
and Robinsons and things like that. Yeah, so I've got a little bit of a collection.
Good stuff. All right, so the name of the game here is you're putting significant money, 10 grand a day, 70 grand a week, 250, 300 grand a month
Yeah,
at traffic.
Yeah.
But you're multiplying it by 2.5 to 3 times. So that's 250 to 350% a month.
Have to think about this. It sounds scary to people who
Right.
are sort of sitting at home thinking, oh my God, how am I ever going to spend sort of $10,000 a day? It doesn't start there, Adam, right?
No,
it starts
it's gradual.
like at zero.
Yeah.
And coming into this too, I had no experience in online at all. I've really learned everything from starting in the course, right, and just growing from there. And so when you start doing Facebook ads, you're going to literally start at testing phase.
Right.
So that means maybe $30 to $50 a day, okay? And then you're going to optimize your ads. Now I'm using a great Facebook agency, and so you have to factor in their cost plus the ad spend, but they're controlling the money. And what they're doing, see, sometimes you get an ad that'll come back in, you'll say, look, it's at 6 times ROAS.
Right.
And I've said this to my guys, I said 6 times ROAS, put
Double
$1 million
down.
on that thing,
Yeah,
right?
right.
And the reason why they can't do that is because it would just completely blow up the algorithms within Facebook. It would just spaz out, right?
Yes, yeah.
So what they've got to do is incrementally increase it, right? Each day, like sort of 20%, 20%, 20%. And you would have seen on that graph, Adam, how it sort of just trickled along for a
Yes.
bit, then it went up a little bit, and then when it got to September, it started to grow. And what I didn't talk about in the video is why it did that. It's because by almost a year, the Facebook algorithm has really got it dialed in to find, they're like hunting down the exact customer that they know will buy my product,
Right.
There's that. There's also the expansion across multiple countries. So when we launched, we didn't start off in 16 countries. We start off in America,
Yes.
right? Because that's where we had proven sales through Amazon, right? So we started in America, we scale the Facebook ads there. We then get the optimization happening. And then what happens is over time, it starts to grow.
It starts to grow over time, yeah. Yeah, look, we see a similar thing even at Reliable, right? It takes a minute to dial things in. You've got to spend that money over a consistent period of time before it sort of really starts to embed into the algorithm and so on. So with your expansion, would it be fair to say that once you've acquired a bunch of customers from Facebook, that you can then sort of get that lookalike audience going? You can export that data from, say, America and go to Europe and say, that's our customer in
Adam,
America.
that is exactly what we're doing.
That's
right?
what you
We're
do,
taking
right?
that exact data. And so we're not really, when we start off again in, say, the UK, we're not starting from scratch. We're
Right.
taking all the data we've accumulated in America, plugging it into the same system in the UK, and then bang, we're off to the races.
So you just take the sales copy, maybe modify it a little bit for the UK market, change the video to have a POM on there,
Yep.
and then you put a 3PL in the UK, you hire a 3PL in the UK,
Yep.
put some inventory there, turn on your ads, and then repeat.
That's
Would that
right.
Be,
Yeah,
would that
I've
be
got
fair?
5 fulfillment centers now,
Yeah.
distributing product all across the world.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing there.
So where are the 5 fulfillment centers?
So I've got 3 in the United States,
Yeah.
1 in Sydney
Yeah.
that distributes to Australia and New Zealand,
Yeah.
and then also 1 in the UK, which is doing UK, and then also other parts of Europe.
Why
Yeah.
do you have 3 in America?
So that's a great question. Initially, I started with 1.
Yeah.
And then what I'm trying to do now is do exactly what Amazon does, which is trying to get my product closer to the customer so that they can get it quicker.
Okay.
Okay. It's also proved to be a good thing to do, because what happened during Corona is one of the actual fulfillment centres actually literally shut down because their staff got Corona. But because I had 2 other fulfillment centres, I could just keep sending product out.
Was it the same company? The fulfillment centre was the same company, but they had 3 fulfillment centres?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm trying to mitigate risk as well at the same time. Everything's about mitigating risk and not being caught out.
That's awesome. All right, so I guess a lot of people are going, okay, so you start small, you've got your product. Now, the types of product that you sell, it seems to me that it has to solve a problem, right? It can't just sort of be an everyday, mundane item. Like, I know what your product is, and you don't want to divulge that, which I understand, but it does solve a real and acute problem. Like if you're going to be on Facebook and you see something and you go and buy it, would you agree with that, or is that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they talk about in e-com what sort of products would be great, and they talk about having a wealth creation products, they talk about relationship products and health products, and there's probably some other one there that I can't remember. But it's certainly, it hits home to people, and a lot of people are driven by those particular pain points. They want a better relationship, they want to make more money, so they're more committed to buy, same as health. People want to solve their health problem. And my product is not an expensive price for what it solves, right? So the commitment is there, only at 60 odd US dollars, it's an easy decision.
Do you have a recurring on that, or have you got a back end product or something they buy over and over?
So in that sales funnel I just showed you was a filter.
Yes.
Yeah, so we have that as an upsell.
Right.
So they come in buying the main product. The filter is a $14.95 2-for-1 special.
Right.
Now what I'm trying to do there is get them into the habit of then wanting to come back to Amazon and buy more filters.
Right.
Yeah.
So the filters is a long tail for you in that one.
Yeah, it's not required for the device, but some people just like the idea of trapping trapping a virus and bacteria in the filter.
Yeah, especially now, right?
Especially
I'm sure. Now. Okay, so the types of products that it suits. I know you've got a bunch here on the floor.
Yeah.
How do you source them?
Okay, so this is the interesting part. Now, initially when I came across my medical device, and then I was referred to then a skincare company, so they've now contacted me, and I thought, why are these companies contacting me? Now, it's because they don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
So that's when the penny dropped for me, and I thought, now how can I fast track this? How can I 10x this, right? So then I started hunting down every single expo and trade show and caravan show where I knew there would be particularly Australian-based products sellers there.
Yeah.
And so let's have a look at some of those, yeah?
Do you think about targetable markets? So for example, when you're at a caravan show, are you going to a caravan show and going, are you thinking about the Facebook algorithm going, Facebook probably knows if you're into caravans, therefore I can advertise to this market segment?
Yeah, look, what I'm looking for is mainly, is it Australian manufactured?
Yes.
Because then I don't have to ship it out of China.
Yep.
I'm also looking for has it got a trademark? That's really beneficial.
Yeah.
Has it got a patent?
Yep.
Is there something that's going to create a moat around this product for when I do take it to Amazon, I'm not going to be bombarded by competitors? And then, of course, it then comes down to the numbers. Yeah. I mean, I'll sit down with these people and work out
what it is.
Yeah.
And you'll find a lot of these, let's call them mad inventors, but lovingly.
Yes.
A lot of these mad inventors have created great products and have gone to the trouble of doing all the paperwork to fill out the patent and everything.
Yeah.
And sometimes they might not be good at the packaging, but that could be fixed.
What they're also not very good at is marketing.
Marketing.
They're
yeah,
hopeless.
What I mean.
Most inventors are not good at marketing.
Because I've met plenty of them. They got these great device and a really, really bad marketing, brand, package, and they're wearing a pair of Crocs and a purple jumper with green pants, and you go, perfect, target market.
Yeah. So I love those, and I have a couple of those distribution agreements with inventors. Who just didn't know how to take it to market.
Brilliant brains, and just the aesthetic side is not as strong.
Yeah.
All right. So you go to these shows and stuff. You've got some samples. Let's have a look at them and let's talk.
Okay. Let's talk about this one here. Now these are products, Adam, that I didn't take to market, so I haven't done anything with these, right? But they could be really, really good. This one here is by Lucy Clear. It's an epoxy of all things. So this epoxy is actually manufactured in Australia.
They're just tying it up. I don't know if that'll work, but yeah, okay. Epoxy, manufactured in Australia.
So I've been to this the gentleman that makes this. At that particular time, we didn't come to a deal, but there was a mass market in America where we could have packaged this up, shipped it in, and I reckon we could have sold a lot of that.
So just explain again what it is.
It's an epoxy. So it's like a clear substance that goes hard, and a lot of A lot of people who are into woodwork love it, where they
Okay.
put it into, like you can see here on the
Puts
top.
in the
is-
grooves of the wood.
Yeah,
And that sort
yeah.
of thing. Interesting. Okay. And so you thought this would go into America really well. The Australian made
So
is
in
probably
this one,
a
I've
win.
also researched, does that chemical, can we get it in through customs and will it fly and things like this? So
yeah.
I've done all that.
Yeah.
And these are sort of some of the things that you need to look at, but that could actually go in an aircraft, no problem.
Wow, cool. All right, what else we got?
So let's have a look at one of these here. This one's in the automotive space. This one here is, you want to hold this, Adam?
Yeah,
this
hold it
one's is a battery isolator.
Yep.
Again, you can see the Australian-made logo on the top there. This particular one, I didn't actually find this at a trade show. What I was doing at one point, I was going to the newsagent and buying every single Australian magazine that I could find on any topic that I knew nothing about, because I was just going to educate myself. And what you find is these Australian manufacturers, they can't afford to advertise on TV, but they can afford to advertise in the back of a magazine.
Is that right? So on the packet here, it says prevents battery drainage when vehicle is not in use. So again, you can target people who are into cars on Facebook, sell them this device at scale globally.
Yeah.
In fact, I was just saying that over the weekend, my old Mercedes, my 1968 Mercedes, I went to start it and it was dead flat. So this would have been perfect for me. But again, it's a clear solution to people with a clear targetable interest on Facebook, much like the medical device, people who have a clear problem,
right?
that you can target them, which is perfect.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing too, what's so great about this, it's branded. It's
Yep.
already got an Australian-made logo. It's in the package. It has a barcode. There's really nothing.
Did you
for
say
you
that
to-
was patented?
I can't remember if this one was patented. Yeah,
Okay.
but I didn't end up doing a deal on that one. But I mean, that's a type of thing that you could find. Let's have a look at one of these ones here. Snorbin.
Snorbin, Rip Snore. Rest in peace, Australia's original anti-snoring device.
There you go. So I think I found this one through maybe another magazine. Might have been advertised in a magazine. And this one here is also manufactured in Australia. Helps with a big problem, Adam, people who have snoring.
Right, huge problem.
Yeah.
And globally addressable market, very targetable through the big platforms, knowing people who are looking for snoring solutions and all
Yeah.
that stuff. Love it. I love that it's small. I love that it's unbreakable, really, because it's just a plastic device, I imagine.
It's like rubber or something, I think. Yeah.
And
in a
how did you
little
go with
box.
this one? What was there?
I didn't end up getting in contact. So you can reach out to these people,
Yep.
but if they don't respond or they're not interested, well, then that's the end of the show.
It's a
But-
pretty easy outreach though, right? Like, hey, I found your product. I love your product. Have you thought about selling on Amazon America?
Yeah, and look, to be honest with you, probably at the time I was probably so invested in the other thing that was going on, it was
Yeah.
going through the roof. I didn't put that much time into it.
Yeah,
But you can easily find these. Adam, I was even at one point knocking on doors. I was
Yeah.
literally cold calling offices and said, hey, you've got that product I'd like to take to Amazon. I actually did secure one that way.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So let's have a look at one more. This is a Mozzie band.
Right, okay.
Again, light, easy. It's Australian-made product.
Yep. This reminds me of one of our students, Ross Bain, with his
Oh, yeah.
little device for the fishing category. And, it solves a problem, very direct and a huge market.
He could sell that to his customers because they're all out there on the water. And what's on the water?
Mozzies, yeah,
Mozzies.
absolutely. And you can also get these into normal distribution as well. Any others that you got hiding down there?
Look, I've got this one. Let's have a look at this one. This one was a great one. This is a tent peg.
Okay.
This one was really interesting.
Easy anchor.
I came across this gentleman while I was at a caravan show.
Okay.
And we actually ended up meeting up, and he's designed one of these crazy inventors again, Adam, right? He designed that tent peg from nothing, and it's something unique about it. The steel is made out of Germany, and he imports it in. And I was almost going to buy, this is the other thing, buy his whole entire business because it had such, it looked like it was going to be a winner, put
Yes.
it that way, yeah? But we didn't come to a deal, but something that someone else could certainly come in and either partner with or buy that whole business.
Was it patented, this one? It looks like it could be patented.
It had a design pattern.
Okay.
Yeah, design pattern on the top anchor point. Yeah.
But not a utility patent. Interesting. So Matthew, what would you recommend? Let's just finish this up because we're running out of time. I want to just talk about how you're actually doing this. You mentioned that you've got your own platform, and we might have to get you back actually to at another time to do a webinar or something for our students on this, because really there's a whole area there to dive into. But how are you automating all of this and managing it? It's not Shopify, it's not Amazon. How are you running this day to day?
Yeah, it's our own software. It's like a one-stop shop, and I touched on it very, very briefly in the video. Yeah, that was the dashboard.
Automated to sell.
Our company's called Automate to Sell.
Automate to sell.
Yeah, Automate to Sell. And so what we can do is we could take, and we've done this with some of the other Amazon's students that I know, yeah, and we've taken their product that was on Amazon successful, and we've taken it through our program, you could call it, our system, yeah. And what we're doing now is we're underpinning it by the software, which is the Automate to Sell software. Now, in that software, it's got you can have emails sent out automatically. You can even through text messages. And you have all your funnels and websites all built into one dashboard, and you can see there it had sales coming in, and it's quite unique. It's like a one-stop shop is what I call it.
Amazing. So I think we might have to get you back just to sort of show how that software works and how people can use it, because I have had a look inside it and it's amazing because you can actually build it all, manage it all, see your accounts, see your PPC spending and everything all in one spot, and manage really a global business.
Well, everything's managed through that across all the countries, and now we're at 15 or 16 countries across the world.
How many staff do you have now?
Well, it's funny you say that. I've literally just hired, as of today, an operations manager, and they're getting a good salary. I'm paying them a couple of $100,000 a year to now manage all the funnels, but all the accounting as well, and also the VAs. So now the operations manager, I have 2 VAs which handle the customer service. Unlike Amazon, they're handling the customer service, so you've got to have your own customer service now.
VAs being virtual assistants, and they're overseas somewhere?
One in Australia and one in the UK.
Okay, wow. So you've got 2 VAs part-time.
Yeah, so they're doing the customer service.
Yep.
I then have 2 other VAs out of the Philippines who are handling some of the Facebook customer service, I can put it that way, so comments and things like that,
So you have 4 VAs, you now have a guy you're paying $200,000 a year to, and that's it?
He's on a retainer plus performance basis.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's it?
That's it.
No office?
It's run out of my study at home, on my laptop.
$1 million a month business run out of your study at home with 4 VAs and 1 other person.
It sounds crazy, right?
It's nuts. That's amazing. That's an 8-figure business running like that, and that's so incredible. And just 5 third-party fulfillment centers and a centralized platform. So, Matthew, that's an amazing bit of insight. I think you're definitely going to be getting some hits on your website right about now.
Yeah, or my Facebook page.
Or your Facebook page. And look, congratulations on everything that you've done. I love this whole area. I love the idea of, controlling the traffic flow. You've got the difficult part for those of you watching at home is just learning traffic, and you've got an agency helping you do it. Once you get it dialed in, you start saying, okay, I put out $100, I get $300 back. I put out $1,000, I get $2,000 back. I put out $10,000, I get $20,000 back. Once that confidence builds and you get your head around it, even if it takes you 6 months to learn it and figure it out, it's such a worthwhile skill to learn.
And I did start off doing my own Facebook ads.
Yeah.
I started creating my own funnels, my own Facebook ads, and it just gets to a point, a bit like PPC, where I was doing my own PPC, that I then thought, you know what, I need to outsource this now because it's taking up too much time, and I want to put it with experts who can then grow it even more.
This is just such a great example, guys, of the leverage that is afforded to us today through e-commerce. You don't need a lot of products. You just need 1 or 2 or 3 good products that solve real problems, and then know how to dial in your marketing and your funnels or distribution, whether it be through Amazon, Shopify, or funnels like Matt's talking about here. And if you can acquire customers for anything north of breaking even, then you're winning.
You're winning for sure.
Yeah, and if you could acquire customers at a profit, you're double winning. So I hope you enjoyed this session, guys. It was one that I was looking forward to so much to bring you during this virtual summit, and so appropriate because I thought, who can I get on after Grant Cardone, who's pretty...
And I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I know. You brought the 10X flag in for us today.
I do have a 10X flag in my office.
And the 10X rule and the 10X hat. That's what it's about, right? Thinking bigger, getting your energy up. And I just couldn't wait to bring you this interview right after Grant to show you how taking the bright, shining light and energy of someone like Grant and then being relentless in bringing it down to the dirt. Gary Vee says you've got to have the clouds and the dirt, which is why he called his sneakers Clouds and Dirt.
Right.
It's kind of a funny name, but you've got to have the inspiration and you've got to bring it down to the street level and actually implement it, which is what you've done. And now it's just a case of expansion, right?
Well, I mean, I'm completely relentless. And as Grant would say, I'm obsessed.
Yes.
I'm obsessed with winning and success and growing this. I think right now I'm on track to do about 30 million per annum.
Yep.
But I then was listening to Grant the other day and I had to be reminded, you need to 10x that.
Yeah.
So it's now 300 million, Adam.
Yeah. I think you'll get there. There's no reason why you can't, and plenty of companies have done it before you.
Yeah.
So it's just the same formula at scale, and the thing that often separates people is just how big their thinking is. Once they've got the vehicle, and you've got the vehicle, and you're doing great. So
Yeah.
it's just mathematics. So
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even just thinking of the goal.
Yeah.
You've got to implement as well. And I'm now launching into looking at India
Yeah.
and also the Middle East.
Right.
So that in alone could be another $20 million episode just right there a year.
amazing. All from a product that you didn't invent or develop or source yourself, which is a crazy, crazy thing. You basically parlayed your reliable education
Training,
certificate training
yeah.
into almost a multi-million-dollar agency, which is doing really well. And I'm sure the guy that invented this thing is loving you, because apparently he was almost going to give it up or something.
Well, I mean, it was tough for him.
Yeah.
So I've certainly helped his business grow substantially. I mean, he's a local business in Tweed Heads, because this product is manufactured in Australia, actually in Burleigh,
Yeah.
of all places.
So it's manufactured right here in Burleigh,
Yeah.
and he'd be loving you now. You're happy, he's happy.
He's got 14 staff now,
Yeah,
so he's
amazing.
employed local people.
Great stuff. Love it. All right, guys, we are going to go to lunch now. We appreciate your attention. We hope that you are loving the virtual summit so far. We've got so much more coming up for you, and I can't wait to see what unfolds over the next little while here at the virtual summit. Matthew, thanks for coming in. Enjoy your lunch, and we will see you guys on the flip side. Bye for now.